Right, going to try this. My phone's probably going to fall off and smash itself. But I wanted to just go over something for us Order of the Bladey chaps and chapettes and anybody otherwise. Why do we ward with the sword? Okay, not only because it rhymes, okay? So, got my pell here, and a good thing about having a pell that's just a bloody stick that comes out at you is if I make a mistake, I know about it, okay? So, playing around with some actions of the blade, I realised you can't actually see my feet here, but at the minute, I'm right foot forward in my left hand grip. Actually, you know what? Longsword in my right hand, I've got my left leg forward, okay? If I step forward, if I do a passing step with my right leg now, that I'm in the normal stance, my sword naturally comes over, right, and gives me that centerline. Alternatively, I'm in right hand grip with my right foot forward. If I was to do a passing step, I automatically open myself up instead. That's not very good, okay? So I'm playing around with the concept of how am I moving with this sword. Obviously, if I've got my right leg forward and I'm in a right-handed grip, it's more beneficial for me to pivot off, so to step sort of behind myself over there. And all that is me stepping behind. Because then when the sword goes out, I'm still keeping my center line pretty much okay. Same with the left hand. If I've got my left foot forward, if I'm to step in to attack, you know, there's a good chance I'm leaving myself open. Yes, I can get the sword there to deal with that. But let's say I've done my normal strike and then left foot forward, I'm safe there, but whatever. If I was to just step, I've got no mechanics of the sword there for me, okay? Whereas if I'm to pivot out, then I'm totally covered. And then if I was to do the other step, I maintain that center line. So it's just maintaining the center line. Why is that important? Because that covers most of my body, okay? If I've got that centerpiece, if I'm over here, I've not got all my body covered. If I'm over here, I've not got my body covered. If I'm in the middle somewhere, a thrust is fairly easy to come through. Even on my little dummy there, I've got mechanics to play with. I've got most of my strength. I've got most of my attacks, okay? Sorry, not strength. I've got most of my structure down the center line, okay? That's why it's important. So warding, specifically warding. What is the importance of warding? If I throw this attack out, right, and then I want to come up here to do another strike, yes, if I'm very quick, I can pull that off, get the point, the fight will stop. However, what's this guy doing? I'm not controlling that at all. The purpose of warding is to maintain control over your opponent's blade and keep yourself safe as long as possible, okay? And it's a mistake I make all the time. I'll go here, I'll see an attack up there, and oh yeah, cool, I'll do some weird shit, and I end up in a double. A lovely double nonetheless, but a double. We don't want that. So instead, if I've connected with the sword here, and I've got a nice strong bind here, if I want to keep the sword in play, I could half hook, or just using the lever action of the longsword, send another strike out, maintaining that complete center line, or I can come into a thrust that still holds that bind. Okay, I don't know the German terms for these. I think, is that a Zornhau? Maybe, probably not. But yeah, so why am I warding? I'm warding to secure their blade, okay? I need their blade secured. If I've not got it secured, I've got no guarantees it's not going to hit me, okay? And most of what we're doing when we're sparring with these swords is we're trying to keep ourselves in a high probability chance that we don't die, and a high probability chance to kill them, and a low probability chance for them to kill us. So we want to stack everything in our favour. And yes, it's basics, and yes, it's not flashy, but maintaining that, see, I nearly lost my phone then. Maintaining that sword contact can be important. Now, anyone that's fought me knows I don't like blade contact as such. So how do we achieve warding in a similar fashion, but without maintaining these traditional binds and whatever that all the other clubs teach and that loads of people are really good at dealing with. For me, it's the Mullinays, even with the longsword. So if I send a strike out there, I'm going to spin that around, but I'm spinning across the centre line. My first attack as well is usually completely out of distance. Like, I'm never going to hit that target. You can't see the target, but I'm never going to hit that target with my first attack. I'm spinning that around, but if you notice, with the spin, yes, I leave myself vulnerable for a moment, but that centre line is where I'm living. I'm living in that centre line. Even if I come around for some sort of round attack, I'll use the pivot steps to again maintain that centre. Instead of coming for the zwirch, where my whole body becomes open there, so I could accidentally walk onto a blade. If I send a big attack in and then zwirch off it, oh no, I've walked onto the blade, potentially. Things like that. I don't really want to give much of my position away. And in the English Longsword, or at least one of the videos I watched anyway, so you know it's legit, they do a lot of stepping off line, okay, with the attacks, and you just maintain that centre line. So I've got the centre line over there, I've got the centre line there. And then you're using these half just leverage attacks because you can slip over the same position. If I send a strike down here and then a quick strike there, you can't see me hitting the target. However, what I've done is I've maintained the same blade posture. Let's call it that. So I've got the same blade posture. That's there. It's a quick strike that just goes through the same line of attack. So I'm not having to... Because every time you sort of turn, right, especially with longsword, if you're getting used to turning with your full body mechanics, you actually watch my arms open up. So there's one, then I'm turning, then I'm turning, then I'm zwirching, then I'm zwirching. Look how much of me opens up when I'm making those attacks. Whereas if I keep that centre line nice and tight, and I'm just doing quick flick cuts, bang, bang, that's out, half it in there, or when I'm coming around, I'm just pivoting and keeping that centre line, I'm a lot more closed off. It's harder for you to get around. Obviously some things will come round and still get me. Not everyone plays centre line, that is what it is. But as a default, and from what I've been practicing, I found it helps a lot because you can just get yourself locked into a nice position there. You've got the full centre line. You can just walk in a thrust. Another quick bonus tip for anyone that's still watching at this point, longsword mechanics, instead of body mechanics coming all the way around and spinning that sword around my head, try and get a nice powerful blow, you can achieve the same kind of thing by just folding your hands over, okay? It's a bit awkward to begin with, but once you get used to it, you can send off a few nice quick strikes and notice how that centre line isn't really being affected. But if I show you on the stick, just spinning that around, you know, you can cover a fair bit of distance, you can clear an opponent's sword. It's very unlikely the opponent's just going to leave their sword out there like the stick is doing, but it's a good sort of mental game for me. And this is why I always say to these newbies, if in doubt, just leave the point out, okay? Because if I want to get close to you and do anything, there's a real chance I'm walking onto that if I haven't dealt with it already. So yeah, that's a little longsword ramble. I'll post this up on YouTube and then on the Discord or something. Hopefully that makes some sense. Hopefully it helps someone out. Maybe, maybe not. I'm by far not the best longsworder. I'm probably not even close yet. But if anyone's sparred me recently, you'll notice how much I've improved. And these are the things going through my head as to why, I suppose. But yeah, anyway, hope you enjoyed. If you want some more, let me know.